making a making a crazy comeback. Not only just as Anakin Skywalker in multiple roles over the past couple of years, but potentially as what's the character? Shadow Fox in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. People are really excited about Hayden Christensen potentially doing a lot more stuff in Hollywood. Well, over the weekend, Daniel RPK reported that Hayden Christensen is returning to Ahsoka Season 2 as Anakin Skywalker. Number one, Chad, I just want to know, are you surprised by this or did you kind of expect it? Because partially I did expect it, but I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? There's a lot of questions about what's going to be going on there. And frankly, that last shot with Hayden just kind of, you know, looking off at his Padawan, it did seem like a bit of closure, you know, did kind of seem like closure. So it's kind of interesting that he's back, right? Yeah. He carried that show. Well, you're not wrong about that. I think fans went nuts for him in that show specifically, not so much for Kenobi, even though he does deliver some great stuff in Kenobi. Like that last episode, man, some of the lines he delivers, I was like, damn, that's pretty cool, pretty good. However, the role of Anakin in Ahsoka is, I think, far more interesting. I think part of the reason why is there's way more that they do with Anakin specifically. There's also way more that they can do with Hayden specifically. So I think, you know, generally speaking, we're like, okay, he's back. What does that mean? Is this going to just be specific to Ahsoka, specific to Hayden showing up a little bit here and there, like just being as a Force ghost? Are we going to get another World Between Worlds scene? And I will tell you that the involvement of Hayden in season 2 to me feels like a super big deal, because I do think this has a lot to do with Abeloth. I think moments and aspects of season 1 can even be better explained in season 2. Like what exactly happened with Ahsoka? What exactly was the lesson? Why are they all on Peridea? And why is it so important that Ahsoka go to Peridea? Like, what's the deal with that? And it seems like a lot of that has to do with Balin, the thing that he's searching for. I obviously think that it's Abeloth and some stuff like that. So that's super cool. I wonder too, because I think about that book, right? There was some kind of book written with Luke Skywalker, and he goes into some kind of shadow realm thing. He's fighting against these like Sith shadow people forces, and his dad shows up. So Anakin shows up there. I am wondering if they are setting this thing up for somewhat of a return of Anakin into Star Wars, you know? And I wonder how you feel about this, chat. Like, do you think that Anakin is kind of done and he's now just going to be a little bit more like Obi-Wan was in Empire and in Return of the Jedi? Do you think that he'll have that kind of a role and it'll be sort of limited to the Ahsoka show? Or do you think it's possible that going into some of these movies that Anakin could come back in a larger way than maybe we would anticipate? What do you think? More of the same? Or are they doing something crazy? Like, are they cooking something real wild up? Because, you know, initially I think, you know, the reaction is, nah, like they're just going to do some Anakin stuff, do some Obi-Wan stuff. They're not going to go crazy, right? But given where Star Wars is at, and I think given the fact that we know this is tying into movie. Like, this is all tying into movie. I really do wonder if there's something larger going on here. Are they cooking something a little bit crazier than maybe we first anticipated with Hayden Christensen and Anakin Skywalker? What do you guys think? What do you think? He's going to be like the father? Well, yeah, I mean, I think he is the father, but I don't know. I mean, resurrection, I don't know. Just way more involvement in the story of defeating Thrawn and maybe defeating Abeloth. You know, there's this idea I have, and I think some of us thought something like this was going to happen in The Last Jedi, or maybe in episode 9 rather, where there was this theory that Luke had died at the end of The Last Jedi intentionally to become more powerful, not less. So this kind of harkens back to Obi-Wan saying, like, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. And he does. And then he helps Luke, you know, through being the Force Ghost. There was a theory that we'd see Luke, and I think there was even a big plot leak that we covered on a video where Luke was going to be fighting Snoke or fighting against some kind of evil force in the cosmic force, like within the realm of the cosmic force. And there'd be this almost like dream sequence spiritual type battle going on with Luke in episode 9, while Rey was doing a more tangible sort of fight with like actual people, right? And you know, again, like you hear that at first and you're like, bro, ain't no way. Like, that's wild. Like, that's way too crazy. Like, they would never do that. I think the Star Wars is at a point where we're kind of at a place of like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? And why not do something? And then you think about that book. They bring Anakin back in that way for the book. You have Ahsoka doing what it's doing. Is Anakin, the chosen one, is he going to like actually bring balance to the Force by fighting against Abeloth in the spirit realm? And like whooping that ass? I don't know. But I think that's the perfect. So Jaron Downing says, yeah, Star Wars needs to go big, not playing it safe anymore. I tend to agree. Like, I think they do need to go big. And I do think they need to stop thinking of like the limitations, what they can do here, what they can't do. And I think they need to tell absolutely mind-blowing stories that swing for the fences. I think that's what Star Wars was before. And I think we're kind of at a place with the brand where we're stuck playing the same game, doing the same things that, you know, yes, they are Star Wars, but there's this like magic that maybe we just kind of forget or take for granted now. But there's something about like the first time you watch Star Wars or even the prequels and like the cracking open of that world and exploring it through really fun, fascinating, and visually stunning kind of way, you know? So I say go for it. And look, either way, I'm happy with more Hayden, dude. Like, I'm happy with more Hayden. And, you know, look, he's been getting so much love lately. I saw a ton of stuff at MegaCon with people, you know, meeting him. I saw that Theory met him, and it just seems like there's a lot of good vibes behind Hayden, and he could be a person. You know what's it's so funny? I'm kind of like processing this in real time as I talk about this, but Hayden played a person that was supposed to bring balance to the Force, right? Well, right now, the Star Wars fan base is completely out of balance and kind of shattered, and, you know, it is what it is. Could Hayden Christensen now become the chosen one that will bring balance to the fan base? And could he have a lot of people kind of, you know, galvanize around his sort of return and his involvement? You know what I mean? Just to me, like that whole Hayden Christensen thing, man, whoo, possibilities. And I think it was maybe the coolest thing that Star Wars has done in a while. You might not love Ahsoka. You might have even hated Ahsoka. But I don't think you can deny that Hayden in Ahsoka was a big deal. Even if you personally didn't like it, it was crazy. It blew up. Massive moment for Star Wars. And I think we want more of those moments, man. Not to like totally waffle for like 10 more minutes on this, but like, bro, I've been thinking a lot about Deadpool 3 trailer and the excitement around that. And really and truly, it's all I want is to get back to moments like that where we're all just getting super excited together, thinking about the possibilities, celebrating in our fandom. That's initially why I wanted to make these channels, and that's the thing that I have loved the most over the past 4 to 5 years has been those moments, and we just need more of them, you know? And if Anakin and Hayden is a way to bring more of them into Star Wars, I say do it. And I say maybe, you know, maybe you don't ultimately decide to go as crazy as you maybe could with Hayden, but I would say throw up some ideas on the whiteboard and become like unabated in the creativity. Like, what could you do with such a character who the fans love, who is still got a lot of gas in the tank, and is a character that people love? So, hey, I say do it. I'm putting my vote on the go absolutely crazy with Hayden Christensen, man. Let's go.